situation. Looked like Curtis Blaze came to beat Tom Aspinall up that night. Tom throws a kick and magically gets hurt. I would expect a fighter to at least attempt to stand back up or at least limp. And with Tom, he was just completely just out of the fight. And his last situation was Cyril Gane. He gets poked in the eye. Normally you see fighters that are doing this number, trying to get the doctor to look at it. And actually, initially, the doctor's just like, he seems fine. Tom's like, no, I can't see.
I can't see.
The guy wasn't trying to see.
Yeah.
The guy didn't want to see. The eye that he was covering appeared to be the eye that actually didn't get penetrated. One eye finger goes all the way underneath the eyelid. The other eye, it was on top of the eyelid. And he ends up grabbing the eye where the finger was on top of the eyelid. I don't even think Tom really knew which eye was supposed to be more compromised. He just knew that he had been fouled and it was his way out. So that alone shows me a little bit what's behind the facade of this whole Tom Aspinall character.
Tom Aspinall went to the doctors and the doctors has confirmed that he's got some issues with his eyeballs. He's got some soft tissue damage to the eyeballs, and that will happen when a 6'6" Frenchman sticks both of his fingers knuckle deep into your eyeballs, okay? So that's not surprising. But what is surprising is that he has something called Brown syndrome, which basically is where the eyes aren't moving in tandem with one another. So therefore, the eyes, which are basically cameras, right, for your brain, in case you don't know, they're seeing different images. And when you see different images, you see double, or maybe sometimes the brain cuts out one of the images so that it doesn't get confusing and you don't get headaches and stuff like that. And then, of course, when you're only seeing through one eye, you have problems with depth perception.
Jon Jones has finally decided to speak out, and somehow he picked the absolute worst time to do it. Right now, Tom Aspinall is dealing with one of the most terrifying injuries of his entire career. He's spending his days in eye clinics, trying to figure out whether he'll even be able to step back into the octagon again. And in the middle of all this, Jon Jones suddenly pops up everywhere, louder than has been in over a year, taking shots at a man who has shown him nothing but respect ever since the day he captured the interim title.
Tom, that would absolutely be the fight that the world wants to see. Jon Jones is probably watching this, so send him a message.
Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight. So I'm coming for it.
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this John's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him. Let's see how he does against that. I get that narrative. But for me, if you were my manager, if you were on my team, why not fight against Pereira, a guy who's the same age as you, and we walk around the same exact size? Business-wise, it makes more sense. Fight I'm gonna call him this, fight the nobody that may be more dangerous, or fight the guy with all the accolades who's incredibly dangerous, but it actually will affect your legacy.
And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week, and I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
You're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion. He's not a champion.
So Jon said I need to fight more champions, but this is the problem I've got. Jon is the champion, and he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Olin St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. Be like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing against me.
The entire MMA community is looking at this situation wondering, what is Jon Jones even doing right now? This week, Tom Aspinall finally broke his silence and explained exactly what went down in the cage with Cyril Gane. He revealed the truth, a serious eye injury, swelling, distorted vision, doctors testing the pressure behind the eye, and even the small but frightening possibility that continuing to fight could have led to permanent damage. And the moment Tom spoke openly about it, everything shifted. Fans, fighters, commentators, everyone realized that Tom Aspinall didn't quit. He didn't back down. He wasn't searching for an escape. He did what any smart fighter would do. He protected his career, his health, and potentially his ability to see. But when Jon Jones watched that video, instead of offering support or even a little understanding, he did the opposite. Rather than showing respect, the kind you'd expect from someone calling himself the heavyweight GOAT, he fired back with insults. He mocked Tom, calling him weak, calling him soft, insisting that real champions push through anything.
Easy for Tom Aspinall the last couple of years, you know, he worked his balls off, won the interim title against one of the hardest hitters in the division, and then he's waiting around for Jon Jones for a whole year, over a year, career on hold, despite the fact that he told everyone, look, this guy ain't gonna fight me, he's gonna retire before he'll fight me, so you might as well just give me the title now. But unfortunately the UFC, they wanted to believe that their GOAT was the man that they bigged him up to be, and they were wrong. And after working his whole life to become UFC heavyweight champion, this was the way it was announced.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
All right, Dana, calm down. Don't get too excited. And that was in the middle of the night in some random-ass UFC press conference. No ceremony, no celebration, no congratulations, Tom. We've got the best young fighter in the world. It was as if no one gave a fuck from the UFC. It was so bad. And I get Dana was pissed because he'd been made to look a fool by Jon Jones, but that was never Tom Aspinall's fault. Tom just wanted to fight the best guy he possibly could. And you'd think MMA fans would love that. There's a fighter who's trying to fight the best, wants to win the title, wants to defend the title and be an active heavyweight champion, something we've not had in God knows how long in the UFC. But no, because Jon Jones weirdly has a lot of fans who want to see him protected and not get his chin smashed to bits, they supported the guy who ran away from the fight and trashed Tom consistently. What a weird fan base we're looking at. And then when Tom Aspinall finally did get to defend his title, this happened. The double eye poke from Cyril Gane. I mean, knuckle deep into both eyes, deliberately cheating. And you know he was cheating because it wasn't one eye but two, and it wasn't just one eye poke one time in the fight. He did it several times in the fight.
Can we get full-time Bully Aspinall after this smear campaign? How are you going to be on the comeback?
Mate, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
What are you left feeling after the fight?
Well, look, if you were sidelined from doing your job for like 15 months, not allowed to do anything, you train your ass off for 6 months for a fight, then to get double eye pokes, be left with no vision for nearly 6 weeks because of an illegal move. How do you think I feel? Not feeling fantastic, am I?
Living through this, Tom's the one that's getting absolutely slaughtered online, and Tom's the one 6 weeks later still having to go to the doctor and still can't train and do any kind of combat. So he's the man that's living with this, okay? So you understand, you kind of will get emotional, you will be pissed off, and you will think that Cyril Gane was doing that on purpose. I still don't, okay? I don't think Cyril Gane did that on purpose. What you want to do is crack someone in the face. When the hands are out, when you go to grab, if someone comes in to take you down or whatever, sometimes that happens. That's why this whole rule of the fingers being up, not allowed there, but they're allowed there, is stupid.
This is number one bullshit.
Because what happens when someone comes forward and you've got to grab them, because you can grab, you're allowed to in the rules, fingers go haywire, go into eyes. Make a fist, make a loose fist. It's not hard. That's all that's going to happen. But anyway, so Tom's saying that, and he's getting absolutely slaughtered online. A lot of people are talking shit, okay? All you've got to do is Google his name, look on Instagram, look on Twitter, and some of the comments are just ridiculous.
His acting like a torn retina is no different from a bruised jaw, as if gambling your eyesight is just another part of the job. And the wildest part? All of this is coming from a man who wouldn't even acknowledge Tom Aspinall for more than a year. Jon ignored every call-out, every respectful mention, every calm request for a heavyweight clash. All of it. But the moment Tom goes down with an injury, suddenly Jon Jones has plenty to say. Out of nowhere, his loud, his bold, his tweeting non-stop, posting online, throwing jabs like he's been waiting for this opening the whole time. And people aren't blind to it. Fans saw it. Fighters saw it. The entire MMA world picked up on the timing, because the timing is impossible to overlook.
You know, something needs doing about it.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at that.
Say that. How is he not disqualified off that?
It's outrageous. And then people just start booing me like, my fault. Been double faulted behind me. Just trained for 14 months. Trust me, didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye. It's the last thing I wanted.
Imaging, CT and MRI confirmed orbital soft tissue trauma. Confirmed! This is confirmation, okay? Orthoptic evaluations demonstrated impaired binocular coordination and restricted ocular motility. This is what the scans are revealing, guys. That doesn't sound good. I feel weird celebrating this because it's like we were correct and we're not lying and we're not making shit up. But also it's like, oh God, we were correct. This is terrible. This is really bad. You know, so it's a weird in-between that and that. Bilateral traumatic Brown's syndrome. Tom Aspinall was poked and Cyril Gahn put his fingers in Tom Aspinall's eyes and Tom Aspinall got Brown's syndrome from it. I don't know if this is a symptom of Brown's syndrome.
I'd say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And Tom Aspinall right now is getting a lot of online. There's a lot of people supporting him, but there's also a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon and talking a ton of crap. And obviously Jon Jones, an incredibly popular fighter that's been around forever. He's one of the GOATs. You know, he's got a lot of fans and a lot of people are going to get on the side of Jon Jones. Simple as that, because they're his fans and Tom's English and he hasn't been around too long and all that kind of shit, right? But the reality is, he said that Tom Aspinall is incredibly overrated and he's quite simple. All he has is a good 1-2.
He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. That's really about it. That's the one thing that he's setting up real nice.
That's it. That's all he's got. He's got a good 1-2. It's dangerous. He can knock people out. He got Curtis Blake with it and a bunch of other people. But if you've watched Tom Aspinall, you know that's not true, okay?
Aspinall was chasing Jon Jones when he was healthy, dangerous, and knocking out elite contenders in a matter of seconds. Back then, Jon said nothing. But the moment Tom gets injured, Jon transforms into talkative Jones overnight. And not just talkative. He's confrontational, mocking, dismissive, trying to twist the story before the real facts even surface. But now the facts are out. Doctors confirmed Tom's injury was legitimate, severe, and absolutely something that should have stopped the fight. His vision was impaired. His eye was swelling shut, and he explained, calmly and with respect, that fighters already risk their lives every time they walk into the cage. Putting their eyesight on the line isn't courage. It's stupidity. It's reckless.
Really good defensively. I knew that if we want to break the fight down a little bit, Cyril's got really good defense. He moves really, really well on his feet. I knew that I have to stand in range and take a few punches from Cyril to be able to land my own shots. We knew that. That was happening. I had a bloody nose. Look, any of my sparring partners know you only have to look at that thing.
I think it's a bit red now as well, isn't it?
It might be a bit red today, yeah. Got the old Rudolph thing going on.
It's not broken though, just to be clear.
No, my nose isn't broken, but I have broke my nose about 3 or 4 times in my life. So, look, touch me in the nose, it'll bleed. Yeah, nosebleeds happen in fights. Yeah, was he hitting me with a few jabs? Yes. Was I hitting him with a few shots as well? Yes. I thought it was going to be a 5-round fight. Go and look at my pre-fight stuff. I knew this was going to be a long and tough fight.
I think that every fight I go into, and I really respect my opponent, especially Cyril. I think there's this notion with the media and maybe the fans that Cyril's not very good, which is just complete bullshit. I think that he's really, really good. He's super talented. He's been at the top of division for a number of years, which is not easy to do. He's been an interim champion himself. He's obviously had 2 title shots for the undisputed title as well. So I think the guy's really good. I've took him extremely, extremely seriously. The fact that people expect it to be an easy fight, I don't read into that at all. I think I'm prepared for a really, really hard fight.
That was a lot of the take. Even if he is blind, he should fight on. Just go out there and fucking just geriatrically fucking look around the cage like Mr. Magoo, wondering where Cyril Gahn is, while Gahn just pees off on him with head kicks and wheel kicks and whatever he wants. And then if he would have lost by KO, no belt, Cyril Gahn's champ, and I bet you anything people have moved on real quick by now. Gahn versus Pereira sounds great. I'm already seeing those discussions now that we think Tom might be out for a little bit longer. That's 100% what the MMA community would have done. Not the real ones, but that's what people do. They just move on past that shit. Goes back out there blind, gets destroyed, gets finished, and then bang. We just move on. So annoying.
Tom Aspinall isn't reckless. He's calculated, straightforward, and has carried himself like a true professional from the moment he joined the UFC. And that's exactly why the backlash toward Jon Jones is exploding right now. Fans are calling Jon's comments a low blow. Analysts are describing it as insecurity. Some fighters are even saying Jon only acts tough when the opponent can't step into the cage. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall, even while facing one of the most frightening medical situations of his entire career, still refused to disrespect Jon Jones.
Does Tom want to go into the boxing world and maybe fight a Tyson Fury, maybe fight a Deontay Wilder?
I don't know if he does, but I think if you get into that top percentage of the sport, the UFC do not pay anywhere near as much as the boxing does. And I know, being around Tom every day, that when he spars good boxers, he spars good. So I think he'd do really well against a real high-class boxer.
With Zuffa Boxing under Dana White's leadership, do you think there could be an eventual crossover where you get a massive super fight that could be on a Netflix?
It doesn't depend on me, that depends on Dana White. But I think Tom has the ability, because I've seen him box at the highest level against some real good guys, that he could be at that level.
Said that you wanted a boxing champion.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay with an MMA champion, but you wanted a boxing champion.
Boxing for sure. The money is more money. Yeah. More money. Why not?
Would that be an outcome for him? No.
There's 3 more fights on the contract now.
Okay. So
and I don't want to sign a new contract. We only ever think one fight. Cyril, win, lose, next fight.
I'm excited to say Andy told me Tom will be a boxing champion by 2028.
So for Tom, unfortunately, and even his dad said this, he's like, Tom has 3 fights left on his contract, and then we're going to get a boxing super fight. We're out of here. Because think about it. Let's say he beats Cyril Gane, right? So we're never seeing that again. Who else would you pay to see him fight? Now it's going to be free on...
Only Jon Jones, only.
Yeah, so he has 3 fights left. So you're going to get Cyril Gane. He'll get the winner of Alex Jon, which happened at the White House. And then maybe fight if he loses that, which he will if it's Jon. If he were to lose that, he fights the loser of Jon versus Alex. Those are your 3 fights from Tom. And then you go to box, because let's say he re-signed for 6 fights. Who are you going to watch him fight? Volkov, or he beat him.
Are you
Pavlich, or he beat him.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, beat him.
Yeah.
Almeida, he doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. Acosta, those top fucking, besides Curtis Blades, 2 through 15 aren't even in the top 25 of this 2015. So for Tom, he was born at the wrong fucking time.
He didn't insult anyone. He simply said he was disappointed, frustrated, and exhausted from being judged by people who've never experienced the kind of injuries he has. He was honest about protecting his career, and that was it. But here's the part the MMA world is quietly talking about. If Tom Aspinall doesn't make a full recovery, if his vision never returns to 100%, if this injury ends up shortening his career, then the one matchup everyone wanted, the heavyweight showdown that could have defined an entire era, may never happen.
And something else for me personally, like one of the reasons that I'm very successful with my style, and again, I don't want to give too much away, but because I'm very, very athletic for the size.
You are.
My balance is great, my agility is great. That is, as well as other things, but that is a big advantage that I've got in the heavyweight division.
Some reporters think that because I think that he should box because it's more money, that affected him in the fight. I've never heard as much as people saying what I say affects Tom in a fight. I say loads of things to loads of people. People who are around me all the time know that. Boxers are around me all the time. It's just because of the money. And it's the back to, if your son was a fighter, would you sooner fight for a ton of money or not a ton of money? It's a no-brainer, but people still have a narrative of what a fight is.
There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rieker Verhoeven. Your big.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So. And I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, think Tom is, he wouldn't even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor to fight me as well.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall respond to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. You can do whatever you want.
People won't remember Jon Jones as a man who defeated Tom Aspinall. They'll remember him as a guy who mocked him from afar, speaking loud only when Tom couldn't respond. This rivalry never needed trash talk. It never needed bitterness. It could have been greatness versus greatness. But now, Jon Jones is dragged into something uglier, something smaller, something the MMA community is clearly not impressed by. And whether Tom Aspinall comes back or not, whether he fully recovers or never fights again, one thing becomes more obvious every single day. Jon Jones only found his courage once Tom Aspinall was already injured.